Hello guys, this is Anupam. In this video, we are going to kickstart our study for vCAP on 7 for deploy. Let's start and I'll kickstart with.
Start my study for Realize Automation Deploy. It's 19, but a lot of places you can see that it is written 3V031.18. So the exam what I've registered is for 30, but this is a 19. To start with this exam guide, last updated, you can see it is on July. So you can go to the VMware website, you can download this guide. It's quite pretty simple. VMware.com. Open this. You will, once you go down, you will find the track for data center virtualization, NSX, and cloud management. So I'm trying to do a week. I've already completed my VCP last week. So I have already done VCP 6 and 7 both. This is vCAP. I'm planning to do deploy. I'll do design as well, but right now I'm trying to prepare for deploy. So once you click on deploy, you will be gone to this where it will say the certification path. If you hold on, no vCAP certification. So I already hold a vCAP certification, but I'm again doing that was more on data center side. This is on a cloud. Now, if I expand this, you will get deploy. So this is the course or certification which you're supposed to do. Duration says as 205 minutes. If you're non-English guy, you will get extra 5 minutes. 22 questions will be asked and it will cost you around 450 USD, right? So this is the exam guide, which you just saw here. This is what I have opened after downloading it. Now, so just going through a brief of this exam. So as I mentioned before, it is an cloud management and automation deployed with 19 certification. So it has 22 items with the passing score of 300 and okay. Candidates are given a time of around 210 minutes, which include 5 minutes sitting time and advocate time to complete the exam for non-native English speakers. Actual exam time is 205 minutes. Talk about exam delivery. You have to go to Pearson's exam centers and you have to give. There are not a lot of centers. There are few. Certification information, all those information, product about the exam, right? So what is the minimum qualification? You should be VCP, you should be having vCAP. Those are like minimum criteria to at least give an examination. But when you talk about what all things you should know, a little bit of NSX, you should have knowledge of Virtualized Automation, Virtualized Business, and Virtualized Orchestrator. The candidate should have 5 years of So my purpose of this video is that it has multiple sections. I am going to record each section, not each, but yeah, most of the section because troubleshoot infrastructure issues, tenant operations, provisioning issues, all those things. I won't be able to create that scenarios, but I will do all these objectives, whatever I can see, and whatever I can mimic on my lab. So I'll run down of all the action items, right? For example, I don't have NSX, right? So I won't be able to reproduce NSX component. That is something which I will skip out, but rest all whatever most possible ones are I'm going to cover. So these are the resources you can actually click on them and you can go and study. There are a lot of references from various people on various places. So you have on-demand NAT, on-demand routing network. So add VLS automation host, add IS host. So there are a lot of create business group, create virtual reservation information. So I'm going to do all these create fabric group and all those stuff. Add user to an Active Directory connection. Use vCenter plugin, lifecycle extensibility, access blueprint, access resources, create additional tenant. So I'm not sure what all questions would come, but definitely I'm going to do maximum whatever possible here. And I have this Excel sheet prepared. I'll do check on all the objectives, whatever I'm doing. So guys, stay tuned, have a look, whatever you think you're not able to. I am trying my best so that I can mimic everything on the lab. Thank you guys. Thank you for seeing this. Let's go ahead and do our lab. The first thing is to create a blueprint for a given multi-tier application. Let me connect to my lab. For connecting my lab, just give me a minute. I'll skip all this section. Okay. I'm not going to use Virtualize automation. Let me minimize this. This is 8.0. We are doing on 7.0. No, I'm not sure why is this throwing an error. Mm, that's pretty much what I know. Thank God it logged in. So my first task is to create a blueprint for a given multi-tier application. I'm not sure what multi-tier application it's talking, what will be the lab in detail for that. But how can we do is create a new blueprint and give a name. So I'll give a multi-tier application, right? So let the lease period be 1 days. 2, since this is my demo, archival as 7. Click on OK, right? Now machine, I'm going to create a vSphere machine. It's a multi-tier. It's web, app, and DB, right? So let the web be clone and clone from maybe the front end I'm making in CentOS 7, right? App, build information. I am cloning the specific one from, you could do, and let's not be very choosy again here. I am going to clone for the DB. I am going to use maybe a Windows server, Microsoft SQL. I'm just telling you. So I think this exam won't be stopping here. You definitely will be needing some network and security. So if you have multiple networks, you do have to link those. In my case, I don't have one. So what you can do is you can have multiple network profile and you can attach this profile to this. It's not able to attach because it's not having it. So I don't have any existing network. So you can create an existing network and you can map your web app and TV to that particular network. So most probably they will be giving question around that. Modify an existing blueprint to provision networks, new networks, right? So you might get to provision new networks. So you have to have all new network. On-demand private network, right? Network parameter, if there is anything, DNS. So you can give DNS 172.21. It's in my case. DNS is 254. Secondary DNS, I'm not giving DNS suffix. I'm not giving all those stuff. I don't feel it is requiring. I'm creating all new network 172.21.01.x start IP. Now I am going to put a and IP. So if there is any netting rule allowed required, or I will have my IP range here, right? So now go to network. So on-demand private network, if you want a static IP, or you can even put from the DHCP pool, just click on OK. So you can see it's an on-demand private network. So I can say, let's give it on-demand web underscore private network, right? So in a similar way, you have to rename this as well. So you can go to general and you can write vSphere web server, right? So in a similar fashion, you can say vSphere web server, so it is connected to web network. In a similar way, you have to create a on-demand network for everything. So it's talking about the new network, and the new network can be only added from this on-demand private network. You can have this is more an existing network if you have already existing one, so you can do that. So that pretty much, so we have seen doing this one. So let me copy my checkpoint. We have also seen how to do this. Modify an existing blueprints. Okay, not this one, but this one. Import and export blueprints. So to import or export blueprints, what you need to do is that you should have a Cloud Connect tool using PowerShell. You can actually export any of your blueprints and you can export that, which I won't be able to do. Maybe if possible, I will edit this video later on or add an extra component. Create and manage property definition, groups, and component profile, right? For that, we have to go to administration, property dictionary. So you have to create property definitions, right? So you create a property definition saying that test dot lab dot question. So Q01. Right? So you have created one property, and that's the label of that property. So that what will be the data type? Again, you have to choose what type of data type we are talking about. So in this case, manage component profile. So they've not specified what they're looking at. For example, I'm so sorry. For example, if it's a Boolean, decimal, integer, secure string, or whatever it is. So if it's a Boolean, so what to display? Display as checkbox, yes or no. So you can do all those stuff, right? Uh, Again, I have done. And just consider that there is one more called Kubernetes K dash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to property group. So let's call it test PROPGROUP. Okay, let me add new. So you remember that we have just created test.lab. I don't want to specify show on request because when it will show on the request, based on that, it is going to take a value. Now let me do a drop down. K8 node, where is the dashboard one, right? So this is the dashboard. Show on request, yes. So is the dashboard required? I click OK. So you have seen that we have used property group definition and the property group. Now what happens is, so once you click on OK, you go back to your design phase. Suppose I'm selecting Ubuntu. You select them, or you select to anybody, go to properties and add property group, right? So now you can see the property which we have created. If it's not visible, it's test not port group. So I think I'm not published it. Possibly that could be the reason. Oh, that's what it is called, test port group. So you can see, remember, right? We can see a test port group. So we don't have any challenge with respect to mapping the property, custom property and property group. So you can select this, add test property group, click OK, then click on finish, and your work is done, right? I know that it's not going to happen because it's of another issue. NSX, I don't have those ones. Resource management, create and manage multiple endpoints. So my endpoints are already added, guys. I'll just show you that how can you add an endpoint. Suppose in case VMware has said that we do have a vCenter, you have to add that vCenter at the endpoints. So go to infrastructure, endpoints, and then you click on new, then go to cloud. So these are the options of the endpoint what you can have here. So under cloud, you can have EC2 instance, operations, network, security, orchestration, and virtual. And so you can have a lot of, so if I want to add a vCenter, I have to go to virtual vCenter, so you can add a new vCenter. Just specify the name, address, make sure that you have written the address in form of HTTPS // the host name, followed by /stk, otherwise it's not going to take, and the username and the password. Then you can do a test connection. Once the test connection is successful, you can click on OK. That means your vCenter is connected to your VRA. Now, this is also pretty much done. Create and manage storage profiles. So I will go to administration, property dictionary. So when I talk about storage profile, I think it should be not under that reservation. Compute resources or administration. I picked almost everything, right? Okay, guys, I think reservation pretty much sits on reservation policies. Uh, these are, you can see, so what it has been created that. What kind of reservation policy are we talking about? Storage reservation policy, name, give name as X, Y, Z, R, E, B, P, O, L, C. Okay. XYZ storage policy, now reservation policy. Now what we have to do is go to reservation, go to core infrastructure. So let's go to infrastructure, compute tab, and compute resources. In that compute resources, we'll select the compute resources what we have got, which is the first one, the cluster, right? And custom properties, um, X. Okay, so what we do is we define that we are supposed to use this reservation with this storage policy, right? XYZ policy. So what happens is that if any compute which is being deployed with that reservation policy with will follow to deploy on that. So click on edit storage path and the storage policy. Click on save icon option, assign the data store to a storage policy. Now what you do is if you go design your blueprint, and the storage, if you come new storage reservation policy. So what happens is it is going to build on that particular data store. Understood my point? So it takes the reservation from there. It applies while building the virtual machine that it's supposed to lie on that data store. That's how you define your location. Got the point? So this is also pretty much done. Can't do it. So if I'm not able to do it, I'm sorry. Approval and governance objective multiple reservations to meet uh, business needs. So what you can do is you can create multiple reservations. Let me do cancel. Once I click on cancel, I'll go to infrastructures, reservation. So let's click on reservation. Now, based on that, it is prod, non-prod, and all, you can allocate which cluster I'm talking about, which hardware component I'm talking about. It's connected to what? Is it connected to vCenter? It's connected to OpenStack, or if anything else is there, you can connect it any of them, right? This is pretty much more on reservation. Just to add more on that, you create a reservation for non-prod, prod. Based on that, you assign the cluster. So let me click that and show it to you. How does it actually looks? So if you click on resources, you can get the cluster.
So which cluster? So by default, cluster name is a cluster. So you can choose your own cluster and you can define whatever it is, and then you can have the reservation policies as well to do it. I think this is also pretty much checked. Implementing governance model for to map multiple given business needs. I'm not sure how to achieve that configure notification to allow approval mail via approvals via email. So you have to add an SMTP configuration. So you go to here, notifications, email server. You define your email server information here. So if you have an SMTP server or mail relay server, you have to provide those information here. So I will consider this as also checked. Troubleshooting infrastructure issues, operational issues are not the part. Use of an event broker with an external VRA process. Okay. So enable composition for access. So before we begin, let me create and test extensibility function of virtualized orchestrator. So it is saying that create and test extensibility function through the Windows orchestrator. So this is something which I need to work upon. So anything I will do it orange. If you guys already know all these things, please put in the comment section. Maybe I can help you with that by somebody's useful comment. Use a event broker to extend VRA process. So you can go to VRO and sorry, you can go to event and you can go to subscriptions and you can see what all the events has been registered with respect to VRO, and those all are directly getting triggered to VRO. Enable composition of access. Okay. This one I have shown you guys. Enable consumption of access. I think this is also pretty much easy. Manage authentication configurations to meet the business requirement. Manage authentication configuration. So to manage authentication configuration, what we need to do is we need to go to users and group, and then not in this one, directory management. Under directory management, you have directories, and then you can define your active directory. So you want to use LDAP or direct AD authentication. So whatever configuration is given during your lab deployment, you can do that, right? You definitely know what's where is the location and what I need to do. Add additional tenants or a business group to existing ones. So it's quite easy to create an additional business group to an existing tenant. So you simply be where you are and then go to business group and keep creating a business group within the same tenant. You are going to have a same tenant with same name with tenant with multiple business group, and you can do it in other way around also. Deployment architecture. Scale Villas automation component to highly available configuration section and security. Review and replace the security certificates on a distributed virtualized automation component. For this, what you need to do. So this is pretty much not possible, but for these one, what you need to do is you have to go to um, we'll go to the console, not this one, appliance management console. So guys, to tell you that these are not quite similar what you see in VRA 8.0, it's totally different. If you go to here certificates, whatever certificate you have, you can simply come and replace those certificates. It's going to take some time to actually finish that task. Meanwhile, let me put this as a check mark because that's pretty much what you're supposed to do. Secure village automation deployment in accordance with Virtualize handling guide. Now scale village automation deployment to accordance with Virtualize hardening guide. So if there is anything hardening or some special configuration that might come into a request, which you might have to do it, but this is the pretty much out of all these sections, I was able to do a lot of them I might do it later on. I'll show you guys everything that how it's happening. But this is pretty much starting day one. I have exam after 2 days. I will also again make a video tomorrow and publish it. So that's pretty much for now. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day.